All right, let's go. Welcome in. So Green on Sports. I'm here. I'm back. Made it to 2025. Crazy statement, but yes, this is the first show of 2025. Last couple Wednesdays, obviously the holidays. You guys don't want to work. I don't want to work. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was definitely locked in. A lot of football happened in that time. Ooh, a lot of football happened in that time. Man, yeah, there's just so much craziness that happened with draft picks or draft order necessarily, uh, playoffs, both professional and college playoffs, coaches, professional. I don't really know about too many college coaches. I don't think I've heard of any that are really well. There's Rich Rodriguez, but I believe I talked about that. I might have talked about that in the last episode, but yeah, I guess we could start there. Rich Rodriguez went back to West Virginia. Bill Belichick, obviously North Carolina. I was live, I think the day of or the day after that happened. That's crazy news. Now they're talking about Bill Belichick to the Raiders because Antonio Pierce got fired. And then now Brady, obviously, of course, if he's going to do a coaching search, he's going to be like, hey, Bill. And I honestly don't care who coaches the Raiders because I don't care. Like me personally. Hopefully, for the Raiders' sake and Raiders fans, it's good for them. I would just love, though, for Bill Belichick, after signing this weird contract, right? Because I think it's he could leave in June, whether or not that be this June or next June, I don't know exactly. But there was talks about him leaving in June on all these sports shows reporting it. And then it was just a weird contract. And so I just think it'd be so hilarious if Bill Belichick commits to North Carolina. He's on the road recruiting all these students, right? And then he's just Tom Brady's hey, we got a coaching opening. Why not come back into the right? Because Bill Belichick's a defensive guy. The Raiders have a good defense. He would find a good offensive coordinator, I'm sure. It's Bill Belichick. He's very tapped in. But their offense is very Jacoby Myers, your best offensive player. Or yeah, I guess. Because Aiden O'Connell's not going to cut it. Gardner Minshew's not going to cut it. Yeah, Gardner Minshew's not going to cut it. Aiden O'Connell's not going to cut it. Desmond Ridder hasn't been cutting it. So unless the Raiders go out and trade for some quarterback or pick up a quarterback for agency or trade for a draft pick for a quarterback or draft one late and then he hits, which leave it to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. That's why I think it'd be great if the Vikings, right, Sam Darnold, great story. We'd love to see that for Sam. Good to see the success. But that'd be, I think, hilarious if J.J. McCarthy goes, right, to the Raiders, the Raiders pull off some trade, we'll give you whatever for J.J. McCarthy, right? And then Bill Belichick comes back. So then Bill Belichick is now coaching a Michigan quarterback that had some kind of adversity, right? And then now would be a starter for a franchise that, well, I guess the Patriots were kind of more successful before Brady took over, right? They had the I think, what was it, Delhomme or whatever, and then Brady took over. So, it wasn't like Brady was taking over some garbage fire, the only AFC West team did not make the playoffs. So, yeah. I mean, it's not ideal for Bill. If I'm Bill, I stay in North Carolina just because you're already there, and that would look so bad. But, I mean, at the same time, he is close to the NFL win record. He definitely wants to come back to the NFL. He's oh yeah, I'm running this college program like it's the NFL. The college and the NFL are definitely closer now than ever before, but I don't think you can successfully run a college program like an NFL program. I don't think that would mesh well. So that's just, I don't know. We'll see what Bill Belichick does. But that'd be hilarious if he goes to the Raiders and just ditches North Carolina. Be classic. And then obviously he would fail. at least first year, because just like the guy who successed him, Gerard Mayo, gone, fails first year. Because it's like you like there's no patience in the NFL. Like people are like, oh well, he came in, he didn't get a fair shot, which is true. He did not get a fair shot, and it's like some guys, they come in, they get good. Like Dan Quinn, right? Dan Quinn came in, and his quarterback Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, right? They all come in. Dan Quinn, it's like, oh, he was head coach and cast it out, went back to coordinating. Same for Cliff, head coach, cast out, gone to college. And then Jaden, right? It's like, oh, he wasn't the number one, he was the number two, right? They come in, where are they at? They're in the playoffs, right? Whether that's what you want to call luck or just great coaching, great skill. Because obviously, if you look at it, I'm sick of it. Like I was telling people before the draft, Jaden Daniels is far more talented, far more ready, far more impressive than Caleb Williams. You look at first overall pick, second overall pick, and then it could change, because right now, right, last year we had C.J. Stroud, we had Bryce Young. It was like, oh, wow, C.J. Stroud far outshined Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young went on the Panthers. They ended up getting one of the first picks again, the first overall pick again, and then gave it to the Bears to get Caleb Williams, right? Here, hold on, let me put the dog down. So you got that situation, right? But then at the end of this season, right, we're like, how did C.J. Stroud even make it to the playoffs? Whether or not he has to deal with the wide receiver injuries, right? Diggs, Tank Dell. Tank Dell. Get better, man. Well, Diggs as well. But, the Tank Dell injuries go crazy. He keeps getting injured, and you just feel so bad for him. But, yeah, we're like, how did C.J. Stroud even make it to the playoffs? Really, he only made it because his team, is in, the worst division in the NFL. Right, and then but then you have Bryce, who ended off the year in a resurgence, right? He came in playing terribly as he was last year, whether that's his fault or not, given they have no talent on Carolina. Well, they have pretty decent talent now. It's starting to seem. The Leggett kid seems legitimate. They had some other rookie or really young wide receiver, legitimate. Obviously, Thielen is legitimate. They have the Texas tight end from last year, very legitimate player. So the fact that Bryce Young finished off the year on a really high, playing really well, balling out. He's seen Lamar out here throwing no-look Steph Curry touchdown passes. He's like, that looks fun. And he goes out and he's doing that too. Throwing him to Tommy Tremble or something. No offense to Tommy Tremble, right? Great player, has to be in the NFL for a reason, but he is not a starter on 32 different teams, if you know what I'm saying. He plays tight end, right? If the Texas tight end, I forget his name, something Sanders, if he doesn't get injured, right, he's not Tommy Trimble's not starting, right? That's the point. But he's out, and you got Bryce Young out here throwing dimes to him, turning around, looking at the ref yeah, that's right. Put your arms up. Touchdown. So yeah, and I like it. I just love to see success from everyone, really, just because I just like to see the supportive. I just like to support people because you see success from people you like, that it motivates you to be like, wow, I like seeing what they're doing. I want to be like that as well. And then if you even see success from people you dislike or hate, even though I don't like to say that I hate or dislike much people, I will hate situations. But even then I try not to, but that's not the point. So it's even you see people that you don't want to see win, or that you're not a fan of, you see them win, and then it motivates you even more, right? Because you're like, oh, if my opposition is on this level, I need to be on said level as well or higher. So yeah, you just love to see success from people. And of course, you don't want to see the Panthers waste their first overall pick, because if Bryce Young never recovers, then Bryce Young goes his entire life, his entire career, another Ryan Leaf. Oh yeah, this guy was great, came in, sucked. The Raiders guy, I think Randall Cunningham. I believe was his name. I don't know. That might not be right, but yeah, he comes in great. Even Trevor Lawrence right now was like for years they had jokes. Prince, who's promised this great like he was supposed to be some like amazing prospect coming out of college. Now everybody's like, why in the world are we paying this guy $55 million, right? And then, oh man, yeah. But speaking of Trevor Lawrence as well, his coach gets fired. Doug Peterson. So you have head coach wise, you have Doug Peterson was fired. The Colts kept their coach for some reason. Doug Peterson's GM, they had the most awkward Zoom call I've ever seen with his owner. If you haven't seen it, you should go look it up. It's Trent Baalke and Shahid Khan, right? They're in an interview with some, obviously, Jacksonville sports reporter. She's asking them questions. She asked the owner how he would feel about the new head coaching staff suggesting a change to the front office, so AKA the GM. And he was like, yeah, of course I would listen to that. While on Zoom call with said GM. And I'm like, wow, that's horrific. Like, imagine like you're hearing your boss or like the owner of the organization that you're working for, like, yeah, I'm not really too worried about firing this guy or keeping him. Like, I'm cool either way. Like, that's insanity. Like, that, like, job security is zero. Like, you have, like, he almost fired you on the Zoom. He was like, wait a minute, I didn't fire my GM? Oh, I guess Olive wanted to come back. But, right, it's like, what's going on? Like, that's a crazy situation out there in Jacksonville, which, like, makes it, oh, my gosh. Well, we'll talk about all head coaching vacancies, and we'll probably try to rank them. So, AFC-wise, yeah, you have the Jaguars head coaching. You have the Titans fired their GM but kept their head coach, which next year will probably be the opposite, knowing the Titans. Then you have the Patriots. They fired Mayo, as we talked about earlier. Probably getting Vrabel. That's what it seems like. Who knows when that's going to happen, but it sounds like it will. The Jets, right? Obviously, they fired Robert Saleh like seems like ages ago now, which was dumb, of course. The Dolphins kept their coaches. Obviously, the Bills are rolling hot. The Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Ravens all kept their coaches, of course. Well, actually, the Bengals shouldn't have. Well, the Bengals fired their D coordinator, and so did the Colts, which neither one of those guys should have been at fault. Well, the D coordinator, I don't know, because the Bengals obviously had a slightly, like, they had a sack leader. They didn't have media. Like, I don't know if it was his fault, as well as the Colts. I don't know why the Colts kept everybody but Gus Bradley. Not Gus Bradley's fault, but we're talking about head coaches specifically. The Patriots, the Jets, the Jaguars, the Raiders, like we just discussed. That's all AFC wise, because obviously the other three coaches in the AFC West are like the top three coaches in the league. Well, not even like they are. They are 100% the top three coaches in the league. So then you have on the NFC side, you have the Bears. The rest of those coaches in that division are safe. You have the Bears. You have who else? Not the Cardinals. The Seahawks. They fired their OC, which was crazy. Ryan Grubb, the Washington guy. I think, as well as my buddy. I reference my buddy on here a lot. His name's Jacob Allen. We talk about sports all the time. Like, we work together, so we talk about sports like a lot. We're both fanatics, and we both are described as people who enjoy talking or discussing topics that we like. So yeah, it's my good buddy, my name Jacob. We talk about sports all the time. Yeah, so I reference him a lot, and then I also reference my brother Chase a lot, and then sometimes I'll reference others, but mostly those two are the ones I reference. But yeah, I just want to, kind of spread the love. Like, I'm always like, oh, my buddy or my brother. I let y'all know who it is. And then, so we were like talking about how Ryan Grubb, after getting fired from Seattle, should go back to his coaching staff he was with, because he was on the Washington championship team, right? Washington Huskies College with Kalen DeBoer, who went to Alabama. We were saying he should go to Alabama, which I mean, I wouldn't see why not, right? They're going to get a new quarterback. Jalen Milroe's probably going to NFL. Yeah, so that'd be good for him. And I mean, might as well, right? As long as you still have a job. And the Seahawks are still going to have to pay whatever contract they gave you. But yeah, all the coaches in that division are safe. So the Saints have their opening. The Falcons, who knows? Should they have an opening? Maybe. I don't know. I like Raheem Morris. Their defense looked well. Obviously, they almost made the playoffs, so they weren't a bad team. I don't know. But some people were talking about him getting fired or possibly losing his job. The Panthers head coach, I like what he did. I like how he's doing things, Dave Canales. And then the Bucks keeping Todd Bowles, of course, in the playoffs. And then who knows what the Cowboys are doing? They currently do not have a coach, technically, because Mike McCarthy's contract expired. But he's not allowed to go talk to other teams. He went to go try to talk to the Bears, and the Bears tried to go talk to him. And then Jerry Jones was like, "What the hell you think? What do you think this is? You think I'm just going to let you come talk to my guys? You think I'm just going to come let you in my building?" He'll let the fans in to watch the players like they're zoo animals during Jerry Jones is like I've talked about it before on this show. Jerry Jones is the most insane NFL owner there is. Now that Snyder is out in Washington, Jerry Jones is he might have been crazier. Obviously, he's not. I'm not saying Jerry Jones is a bad person. I'm just saying this dude, like, his mind works so differently than other folks, whether that's good or bad. I mean, he's got the most lucrative sports business in the world. So in some ways, I guess it's good. And he bought it for his children. But then he's having too much fun, if you've heard talk about it. But, yeah, so they might have an opening. Giants said they are keeping Dable, which I think is smart, and then also keeping their GM, which I think is not. But, yeah, I don't know. And then the other two teams are in the playoffs with great coaching staffs. No matter what anybody wants to say about Nick Sirianni, they have a great coaching staff in Philly. When you got Tanner McKee and Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee looks good, but when you got Kenny Pickett throwing touchdowns, you're doing something right on offense. Because the Steelers, Matt Canada, couldn't do that to save their life. Couldn't do that to save their jobs, actually. That's why Matt Canada is nowhere to be seen now. I don't know where he's at, probably in the XFL. I think I heard about him being in the XFL. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But, yeah, so job openings are, head coach-wise, Chicago Bears, New York Jets, Saints, the Saints, the Jaguars, the Patriots, and then the Raiders. And then I might be missing one. The Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots. Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots. Anyway, so I think I say the best opening. Everybody wants to say Chicago's the best opening because of Caleb Williams, and it's already been said on here. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't have an issue with Caleb Williams, right? I just don't think, like, people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to Chicago. It's amazing. Which none of these jobs are good jobs. That's why they're openings. Like, nobody, like, if they would have fired Dan Campbell, right? It's like, oh, okay, what the fuck? And it's like, okay, that's the best job, easily. There's no best job here. Patriots, maybe. They have two solid quarterbacks on there. I'll get to that conversation later. Joe Milton is a dog. Joe Milton is like, oh, man. Joe Milton, I want the Steelers to trade for him. I'm a Steelers fan, obviously, as said on this show before. Yeah, I want Steelers to trade for Joe Milton. I don't care. We're not going to have Russell Wilson next year, and we're not going to have Justin Fields next year. Technically, currently, we are not contractually obligated to have either one of those quarterbacks next year, and Joe Milton's better than both of them. I'm not saying heyday Russell Wilson, but Joe Milton is amazing, and I'd love to have him. He's so similar to Big Ben. Big dude, running around there, slinging the ball. What are we talking about? Get him. Mike Tomlin needs to go get him. Or Omar Khan, the con artist, as they call him on the Pat McAfee show. But yeah, no. Omar Khan, great GM. Do us all a favor. Go get Joe Milton. He's cheap. He's amazing. He's better than any quarterback in this draft. I don't care about it. Well, I don't care what anybody has to say about Shedeur, Cam, whoever else comes into this draft quarterback-wise. Joe Milton's dogging him. Better. Don't care. Joe Milton. I said that the Patriots should have started him. If we go back, actually, you can go back on my channel. There's a show way back, like pre-draft, right? Or like after draft, after they had drafted both players. I'm like, Joe Milton needs to start for this team. Joe Milton's a better quarterback. They obviously went the opposite way. They went with, I keep wanting to say Drew Lock. Drake May, sorry. They went with Drake May. That didn't obviously go too bad. He looks good. He's not Joe Milton good, but he looks good. But yeah, the Patriots, it's obviously a better situation than the Jaguars because the Jaguars, they don't even know that they didn't fire their GM. They're like, oh, wait, what? Which is crazy. But like, yeah, and also they're paying Trevor Lawrence, like I said, way too much money. $55 million for this bottom half of the league quarterback, just like the Cowboys. So even if Mike McCarthy goes away somehow, Cowboys, not a good job. You have to deal with Jerry Jones, who's the most involved owner. And then on top of that, you got the highest paid quarterback in the league who is injured and not top tier. He's not that level. Raiders job, like I said, I was like, oh, yeah, Bill should go because it'd be funny. Other than that, terrible job. The Jets, if you like Aaron Rodgers, that's a good job. If he comes back even, that's a good job. Or if you want to go get a quarterback, I don't know where the Jets are even drafting. It's like probably top 10 range or maybe like somewhere around 10 probably, I would assume. I think the Bears are 10, so yeah, their record had to be somewhere near the Bears. Yeah, like I said, none of these jobs are good jobs. The Jets job is not a good job. The Patriots job is like slightly good. The Raiders job, not a good job. Like none of these teams have quarterbacks. I guess you could say Drake May, Joe Milton, Caleb Williams, right? Those situations have quarterbacks. Caleb Williams did finish out the year stronger than he started, which is good for him. Like I said, I'm not saying he's not a talented individual. He went number one for a reason. He's good, and he had a lot of hype. That's why he went number one. Like, everybody was like, wow, this kid's – yeah, he's got talent. He's got an ability to do something. And like I said, I like the dude. I like the kid. He seems like a good guy. But – I mean, with that talent, I guess, because you have you got DJ Moore. You kind of have a running back situation. You have the other wide receivers, Odunze, right? So if you just bring somebody in there, they talk about Vrabel, they talk about others. I think you need to bring in Pete Carroll. I'll talk about that. I want the Jets to hire. I want Rex Ryan to the Jets. I want Mike Vrabel to the Patriots. I want Pete Carroll, like I said, to the Bears. I think the Raiders or the Saints would be good for John Gruden. They're talking about John Gruden getting back in. Mike McCarthy, he could stay on the Cowboys. That's fine. But I think so. I think Pete Carroll fits good on the Bears because he can fix defense, right? Not that their defense was really that bad. Eberflus wasn't running too bad of defense, right? But he fixes defense, right? So say he goes on defense, he has connections. He gets a good or decent offensive coordinator, right? Offensive coordinator has all these weapons as well as Caleb. You just draft some O-line pieces. Like you're drafting 10, you can easily get a top 3 O-lineman. Like, unless somehow 3 O linemen go before 10 in a draft with 2 high quarterbacks, two high receivers like Hunter and that kid from Missouri. Yeah, but you should be getting like some kind of O-line because your defense has somewhat like a good amount of talent. Your offense has good weapons, like good perimeter pieces. So yeah, you really just load up the trenches there. Get Pete Carroll, who could like set in like, hey, I know how it's like. I've won Super Bowls. I know what to do. I've played in bad weather states like Seattle, Chicago, big city, bad weather. Like, I know what to do here, right? I've had quarterback who can ad-lib plays. I've had good defenses, Pete Carroll fits right in. And then, oh, man, get Pete Carroll up there, like chewing on some gum, talking some – man, get him a Chicago accent. You'd think he was born there. Oh, man, who's to say he's not? I don't know where Pete Carroll was born. But, man, that'd be great. Rex Ryan, too. And then, John Gruden, Mike Vrabel. That would be such a good, like, such a nostalgic feeling. It'd be so good for football, too, because Rex Ryan, with that Jets defense – and whatever he makeshift happens on offense, it'd just be amazing. And then Patriots, Mike Vrabel, just the story of like, Vrabel was here. Vrabel has had success. People forget Vrabel was good. Vrabel was taking the Titans when all they had was Derrick Henry to the AFC Championship game. He was taking Marcus Mariota, who I like Marcus Mariota, man. You seen him start for the Commanders, or not start for the Commanders, but play for the Commanders in that Cowboys game. He was like, oh, man. I was like, listen, if I needed a backup quarterback, the Commanders got themselves a backup quarterback. They keep him. They keep Jaden. The Commanders are looking good. I think they might win that division next year. I don't know what to tell you. According to Micah Parsons, Cowboys are winning next year. They're winning it all because Micah Parsons is delusional. He's like, why are you allowed to go on your podcast right now and say that you guys are winning it all right now? Or are you guys going to win it all next year? Because you had no chance this year. You had no chance. Your organization is terrible. You don't know if you have a coach. You have the most grossly overpaid quarterback in the NFL. I like Dak, like I said before. I just don't like that contract situation. That contract situation for Dak is disgusting. When you're paying a dude $60 million a year and there's 10 people I can name off the top of my head that are better at him than what he does that make way less money, you're doing something wrong. But yeah, so but Rex Ryan coming back, John Gruden coming back, Pete Carroll coming back, and Mike Vrabel coming back would be so great. That'd be so great. I don't know if it happens. Even if then Bill put him on the Raiders with Brady again. Oh man! And then whatever job opening I'm missing, the Jaguars, you give that to Ben Johnson and he pulls something amazing out. Because the Jaguars, even though Trevor Lawrence is getting overpaid and isn't that great, he's not bad. He's a good quarterback. He's obviously not what he was supposed to live up to be, but he could more than easily run pretty well with that offense. You get a good O-line in there. A lot of these teams just have no O-line. Where are all the O-linemen at? Where are the good O-linemen at? Are they just all on the Chiefs and the Bills and the damn Ravens? And why are they all on one team? We need to spread out the O-line, make this a little bit more even. But geez, you know what I'm saying? So it's if you got an O-line in there with that Jacksonville team and kept Trevor Lawrence upright to where he can make proper decisions, because he's a bright kid and he's obviously has more experience under his belt now to the point where you're paying him $55 million. He's had enough experience under his belt to where you're giving him that much of a contract. You give him an O-line. He's got that Brian Thomas kid. ETN had a bad year this year, but he's not bad. Neither is Tank Bigsby. So you got a little running back duo situation going on in the backfield. And then plus you got Evan Ingram, and then I think there's that other wide receiver there as well, other than Brian Thomas. But all you need is Brian Thomas. It don't matter. Brian Thomas, Evan Ingram, ETN, Bigsby. It's the same situation as Chicago almost. You have this really high, talked about number 1 overall pick, didn't really live up to expectations, right? But then it's just slightly different because he's not still on rookie contract. And then your team doesn't look as crazy. And obviously Jacksonville's a better weather state to play in. So if you would rather, so I think the whole coaching drama is cool. I can't tell you who is going to go where. The most certain one seems like Vrabel to the Patriots, but everybody wants to talk about how Ben Johnson should be number one guy. Ben Johnson has done great things. So if he is the number one guy on everybody's list, I see why. And I hope great things for all of them because all those situations they're about to go into are hard situations to be. But, man. But, yeah, that's a lot of the coaching that we've touched on. We've talked about some of the coordinators that have gotten fired, the teams, and then who I think should go where, why I think such things, right? So, yeah, good luck to every single one of the coaches that's going up there. Brian Flores as well, right? Aaron Glenn. Whoever gets the jobs, I'm happy for them. But, man, what we really need to talk about is starting tomorrow, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And you know what every single one of those days has in common? This coming up from the 9th, January 9th, 2025 to January 12th, 2025. Sorry, I had to do the math real quick. Don't judge me. They all have a football, whether that be professional or college, they all have a football playoff game. And it starts with tomorrow, Notre Dame, Penn State. That is going to be such a good game. I think Notre Dame comes out on top. I think they're a slightly better team. Their coach, Marcus Freeman, best coach in the college world right now. So I think they're going to slightly outcoach them. They're going to outplay them. Notre Dame is just on a roll right now. They're on a heater. Marcus Freeman, great coach. I think they're the slightly better team because if you look at it, Notre Dame, they came in, they beat Georgia. Georgia did not have Carson Beck, but it does not matter. Gunnar Stockton looked good. They just outplayed that team. They looked more disciplined in that game than Penn State did in Boise. If it wasn't for Boise looking like they didn't want to win that game, at all, and being so sloppy with penalties, Penn State doesn't make it out that easy. That's the issue. Penn State, but I think Penn State will obviously right the ship to where when they play Notre Dame, because obviously Notre Dame's going to be if you're not preparing to play Notre Dame and you're not going hard, good luck. Then get stomped on because Notre Dame is a great team. And they're really well coached right now. These people play so hard for Notre Dame. Excuse me. But, yes. And then and that game's also cool as well because it has, I guess both head coaches are of African-American descent. They have African-American ancestors. So for the first time, right, because one of them will obviously win and advance to the College Football Playoff National Championship. For the first time, that is the first time that a African-American coach will be coaching in the national college or in the College Football National Championship, which is great. That's this coach, whatever coach wins. Well, both coaches kind of already have made history and have excelled, done great, right? And they will make history. Whoever they will be the first African-American coach to coach in the College Football Playoff Championship, which is really cool. To think that this is the first time of all time too is insane. Right? And who better to do it than Marcus Freeman? Man. You need a poster child? Marcus Freeman? Him. Dude, the haircut, the beard, the jawline. I'm not even come on, don't play with me. You got to be real. This dude, that's a football coach? I was damn, I thought I was an actor, a model. No, but yeah. Anyway, I do think, though, because he's a great football coach, and I think he will outcoach James Franklin. I think his boys over there at Notre Dame will outplay the boys in Penn State. And I think Notre Dame will move on. And I think they will play Ohio State. Because if you think Texas is winning this game, you are out of your mind. Texas, as well as Penn State, should not have made it out of that last round. That's not just me being an ASU homer. Texas did, so they should have, obviously. But, oh, man. If you take the buys away, right? Because the buys obviously affected all 4 teams, whether or not you want to say they did or not. It's pretty clear all 4 teams that had a buy lost. That should not have happened because they were in those buy rest or they were in those higher ranked positions for a reason because they were better teams, right? Like middle of the regular season when both teams are rolling hot, Oregon outsmarts, outplays, out-toughs Ohio State, right? Ohio State comes in, we got revenge on our mind. You're rusty. We're coming off of a fiery win. And they stomped them, right? So you take that bye away, Ohio State's still probably winning. You take the Georgia bye away, it's a way closer game. Notre Dame still probably wins. You take the bye away in the other 2 games, ASU wins that game, and Boise would win that game because Boise were just out of their zone. But yeah, ASU almost won that game. Without the first half, they didn't have their best wide receiver. They didn't have their best wide receiver the whole game. And in the first half, they didn't have that really good DB. They had that first play he comes in, he creates the safety. And then it's so close to where if Ewers doesn't grab that ball and that becomes a touchdown instead of a safety, they lose that game. The people who voted, they voted Cam Skattebo for player of the game. The dude lost the game, but that's how good they were. This team ran down your throat, smacked you so hard, and you just happened to survive to the point where you made it to the next round. So if you think, you could think whatever you want to think, and you could be like, oh, Texas is going to bounce back. They're going to be like, wow, you just embarrassed us. We're not settling for that. Yes, they are. The way Jack Sawyer, Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard just absolutely handled the best team in the country. Oregon was the best team in the country by far going into that. I bought an Oregon shirt because I was like, man, if they win this natty, I need an Oregon shirt. I was also at Hollister and it looked cool. But no, and Dan Lanning, Dylan Gabriel, it's a team you gotta love. You gotta love them. You gotta support them. But yeah, everybody's Oregon, highly favorited. Sports personalities talking about it. Sports books, betting books were yep, Oregon favored, highest or best odds to win national championship. Nobody thought going into that game, right? That and it's on New Year's, right? I wake up, because I might have been a little hungover, a little bit too much to drink on New Year's Eve. But right, I wake up and I'm like, I didn't know if I was even awake because I'm like, is this game 34-0? I was like, I gotta go. I went back to sleep, woke up after halftime. I was like, hold on, whoa, I think I got a fever. I don't know. I might be. I woke up again. I go to Cheesecake Factory with my wife and the game is on. And I'm like, this what? I'm like, they're getting stomped. Is this real? I'm trying to explain to my wife. She doesn't even like football. I'm like, this is insane, but I need to tell somebody. I can't, right? And I'm at dinner with my wife, so I'm not going to be rude, pull out my phone and text one of the buddies hey, what the hell? Is what am I watching right now? Have you been watching this whole game? What did I miss? This is insane. This is disgraceful to my beloved Ducks. Yeah, and then ASU lost, so I was like, at least Oregon will win. That'll be my team. No, now Ohio State is my team. No, but Ohio State, I believe, will smack Texas because they just beat Oregon, who's a way better team than Texas. Texas just barely escaped ASU, who's nowhere near as good of a team as Ohio State, and that's coming from an ASU fan. Actually, an ASU student. I go to ASU. We're not as good of a team as Ohio State, and they should have lost to us. One penalty call, one grab of Ewers away from losing to us. Ohio State they had Jack Sawyer all over Dylan Gabriel. It looked like they didn't even have an O-line half the time. They had Jeremiah Smith, dude. And then the Ibuka, you got two. Dude, they're not winning. Oh, Texas is not winning. Some people were like, oh, Texas might pull it out. They got a really good – I don't care if Texas has a really good defense. You know who else has a really good defense? An even better one? Ohio State. So if your defenses are on the same level and the other team's offense is way above, you're not winning that game. I don't know what to tell you. You're not winning that game. Pretty simple. I don't know. There's not much math that goes into that. But yeah, so I think national championship, I don't know what day, right? Whatever they end up scheduling. But I think it will be Ohio State, Notre Dame, which would be iconic. Like two huge schools. Oh man, a huge rivalry, right? Because there's the whole, I don't know why Notre Dame's not in the Big Ten. But there's the whole Ohio State Notre Dame rivalry. That would be amazing. That'd be such a great first 12-team playoff. We get this amazing historical iconic matchup just for the Natty. Would be just fucking dope. For lack of better words, it'd be dope. It'd be nobody's gonna no football fan is gonna be disappointed, right? Even like I said, I'm an ASU fan. I'd almost rather watch Ohio State Notre Dame for a Natty than ASU Notre Dame, right? Because it's wow, this game is gonna be amazing, lights out. And I'm don't take my word for it, but I'm almost 100% sure that Ohio State Notre Dame will be the national championship. They're just better teams than the two teams that they're playing. Simple as that. But yeah, and then that's Thursday, Friday. So Ohio State game is Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have Super Wild Card Weekend, and of course, each 6 games are on different channels. No, I'm playing. I think it's 3 different channels, but still, we have some good matchups. Obviously, AFC North battle of this game is never not good. The Ravens, the Steelers. I am a Steelers fan. I don't think we're gonna win. I just hate to say it. I don't know. I had faith in our team, and then we went on that fucking 5-game losing streak, or 4. Should have about to be 5. See, I'm already talking about it. 4-game losing streak. One of those being to the Ravens, the other to the Chiefs, the other to the Eagles. What are we even doing in the playoffs? We already know that we can't compete with these teams because they all, whether or not it was close or not, they all dismantled us. The score may have been close. They were, dude. I love the Steelers. I will until the day I die. First round exit again. Sorry about it. And then actually my brother, Chase, the one I mentioned earlier in this video, Chase, my brother, so I'll just refer to him as Chase from now. But so Chase, he tells me that a crazy stat. Shout out to Chase for this stat. He tells me Trent Dilfer, 28 when he wins the Ravens the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco is 28 when he wins the Ravens the Super Bowl. And then Lamar Jackson, who is playing the best football of Lamar Jackson's life and has one of the top 2 running backs in the NFL on his team in a running back resurgence year with people to throw to for once, is 28 years old. And they already almost beat the Chiefs this year. They really should have. And the one who needs the most revenge from that game is Lamar Jackson. So if they end up playing the Chiefs, whether or not they have to go through the Bills or not, I don't think anybody's stopping the Ravens. I think Ravens win the AFC. Me personally, I also think though that the Bills. So I think what happens is I think Bills win. They're playing the Broncos. The Broncos, really cool to see them get in. They stomped the Chiefs like they wanted to get in. But really the Chiefs were just scared of the Bengals because Joe Burrow is the best quarterback I've ever watched play football. I know that's going to tick people off. I don't care. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback. Tom Brady is the greatest, right? I've never seen greatness to the level of Tom Brady in sports at all, right? Closest is probably LeBron. If we're talking greatness, accolades, just legacy, icon, Tom Brady, LeBron, right? They're the best they're the greatest in their sports. But we're talking best. Joe Burrow is just the dude. Is just the confidence, the swagger, is just balling out. He just threw his receiver to a triple crown. Didn't even really. He's I guess yeah. I don't know. He's got a lot of catches. He had a press conference and they're asking about it. He's I'm not worried about that. We're getting Ja'Marr Chase the ball. Ja'Marr Chase is going to get paid. T. Higgins might I don't know. We'll see with that. Man, I don't know. If they franchise tag T Higgins, do it before you pay Jamar. Sorry, not Lamar. Sorry. If you franchise tag T Higgins, do it before you pay Jamar though, because if you franchise tag T Higgins, it's going to be right the top 5, 10, whatever of the like the average of the top 5 or 10 salaries, however the franchise tag works, and you need to be paying Jamar Chase a lot of money. So before you pay him a lot of money, make sure your average on that other contract is less if you do so. I don't know what they're going to do. But, yeah, anyway, they didn't make the playoffs, so it doesn't matter because the Chiefs didn't want them there. They wanted the Broncos. But then the Broncos, right, they lose to I believe they will lose to the Bills because as well as Bo Nix and Sean Payton have looked this year, the Broncos in general, Nick Bonito, man. And then with those Orange Crush uniforms, oh, my gosh. That was so cool. They played. That's what I like to see. I love it. I love seeing teams that play like they want to be there. They want to win. The Broncos were like, oh, we got to beat the Chiefs backups to get into the playoffs. Say less. We'll stomp them. We won't even let them touch the end zone. I mean, yeah, you got Carson Wentz, probably the worst quarterback to touch the field this year, going out there. But that's besides the point. That's not their fault. Yeah, but yeah, they're probably going to lose to the Bills. Josh Allen's playing amazing. Probably going to get MVP. Probably should because he's carrying this team. Because before Amari Cooper got there, I mean, Keon Coleman's a dog, right? But like Josh Allen, why has he not gotten an MVP yet, right? Like he's bringing this Bills team to glory every year, right? Obviously not full glory, but he's like 2 seed playoff high. Like he's in the race. Like he's deep in the race every year. And it was just Josh Allen for a minute. I don't care. It was just Josh Allen. And like nobody wanted to acknowledge that. Lamar gets 2 MVPs, right? And everybody's like, oh, Lamar's got the stats this year. Well, Josh had the stats last year. And it's not about stats. Josh Allen needs to win that award. If it's not him, then Saquon. Saquon is obviously really valuable as well. But yeah, so I think Bills beat the Broncos. Ravens beat Steelers. They're all going to be great games, by the way, except for this other one. The Chargers are going to absolutely manhandle, like they're going to build a clay sculpture of embarrassment out of this Texans team. Like remember how the Bucs stomped the Chargers? I think it was like 40-7 or something, or vice versa. I don't know. The Chargers are going to beat this team, like absolutely. Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, Derwin James, Bosa, Mack. You want me to take C.J. Stroud with no wide receivers? Well, with Nico Collins, right, and then Deontay Johnson. As soon as they signed Deontay Johnson, I was like, well, you can kiss this team's chances goodbye. That dude is a curse. I've talked about that before. He is a curse. I don't know why. Like right before the playoffs, right, you could have signed – you got Michael Thomas out there. I know Michael Thomas is like whatever. I'd sign Antonio Brown before I signed Deontay Johnson. I would trade a first-round pick for like Brandon Cooks. I would do that. A detrimental move to my team before I signed Deontay Johnson for $1. Like, because as soon as and then you're playing, in my opinion, best coach, NFL, best coach football, right? Best coach, not greatest, best coach, right? Jim Harbaugh, best coach. And like D'Amico Ryan's also a great coach, right? Or a good coach at least. Has his team in the playoffs, right? 2 years in a row. He's only played for 2 years, or only coached for 2 years. But come on, Texans have no shot. Absolutely no shot. They barely got in because, like we said earlier, their division is garbage. The Chargers, they fought their way up to the 5th seed. Like I said, I love seeing teams that want to play like they want to be there. The Steelers, that's why I'm so upset. The Steelers were not playing like they wanted to be there. We could have been 3rd seed. We could have been 1 seed. Then it was like, okay, now they can be 3 seed, right? Oh, we lost the Ravens. Okay, well, we can still be 5 seed. Oh, then the Chargers won. Okay, we're 6 seed. Who are we playing? Oh, the Ravens. Great. Our biggest rival, our biggest competitor in their home state with Lamar Jackson playing the best football of his life. Like, oh, Don't even get me started. Yeah, Steelers have no shot. Texans have no shot. Broncos probably have no shot. I think it'll still be a good game. Steelers, Ravens, obviously going to be a good game. Texans, don't even show up. Don't even fucking show up. But then that would lead the Chargers to play the Chiefs, and then the Ravens to play the Bills, which I think then would move on to a hard bowl. I think the Chargers, they've gotten close 2 times this year, really close 2 times this year to beating the Chiefs. They did not. And everybody will tell you it is really hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So I'm telling you, the Chiefs do not want to see the Chargers. As much as they didn't want to see the Bengals, right, as the joke is, they did not want to see the Chargers. Oh, my gosh. They do not want to see the Chargers. I'm telling you, that's their wife's number. Honestly, if the Chiefs were to play any of those teams, I don't know if they win. The Ravens, the three-peat, beating the Chargers 3 times in 1 year, the odds are so stacked against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs look really great. Everybody's going to be like, oh, you're a hater. You just don't want to see greatness. I don't care. Because like I said, I know the Steelers aren't winning. And, I mean, that's the only thing that would make me happier enough to, not care who wins this Super Bowl. Because other than that, right, it's I'm just hoping for great football. I just want to see something amazing because I'm a football fan as well. I love the Steelers, but I'm also a football fan. So, yeah. But, yeah. And then so I think it would be Chargers-Ravens. And then obviously I think the Ravens would win that. Jim just can't beat his brother. Doesn't make his brother a better coach. Brother just has Lamar Jackson. And then, yeah. So then on the NFC side, let's see. So you got the 2-7 game is Eagles-Packers. Eagles are winning that. I think Eagles are winning that. Saquon's going to be playing his heart out because he obviously didn't get the record right. Jalen, they're saying because Jalen's still in concussion protocol, there's no way this dude is still going to be concussed 3-4 weeks later. What are we talking about? Why is he still in the protocol? Is this dude is he in a coma? What is he doing? There's no way. And he's not going to miss the playoffs. I don't care. Even concussed, Jalen Hurts is not missing the playoffs. I don't care. But A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens. When you're naming a team's O-lineman as this is part of the reason, there's no way the Packers are winning this game. I was talking about it with Jacob, my friend, my buddy. We were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I think the Packers might pull it off. He had that as his upset lock of the week. And I was like, he almost convinced me. And then I was leaving, and then I was leaving work, and I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. I don't mind. I'd like to see the Packers. I like Matt LaFleur, right? I wouldn't mind seeing them beat right? Because I don't care who makes it out of the NFC, to be honest. Because I'm from Arizona, so if the Cardinals were in, I'd like to see them. But I don't really care who makes it out of the NFC. I just want to see good football. I think it'd be funny. I want to see Tanner McKee go out there and just ball out. First start was 2 weeks ago, or first play was 2 weeks ago. First start last week, right? And then he comes in and just balls out. First playoff game ever and just goes crazy and wins. That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome. That's what I'd want to see. Just because, like I said, it'd be a cool story, good football story. And then the 3-6 game. Oh my gosh! I love both these teams. I love the Commanders. Almost everything about them. Scary Terry might be my favorite wide receiver. If not, maybe Mike Evans. These dudes are amazing. Scary Terry, what he's done with an absolute terrible racist failing organization, and he was balling all those years, going crazy, top wide receiver, top 5'10" wide receiver, right? However you want to say it, all these years, right? And then we all just seen what Mike Evans just did. Oh my gosh, 11 straight, and they say 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's been doing this since sophomore year of high school. He's been doing this since I was 6. I don't even know. I'm lying. Well, actually, Well, because if he has 11 years, right, and then he had like 2 in college and then like 2 in so that's 15. He's been doing this since I was actually 9 years old. Well, actually 8, technically, because I'm 23 now. Yeah, so 15, 8, 23. He's been doing this since I was 8. I was almost close, was 6 years old. That is absolutely insane. Mike Evans has not had, so I guess 7 would actually be the last time he had a less than 1,000 yard season. Or no, I think he started playing senior year. So then I guess it would be 8. So he would, oh my gosh. Either way, this dude has been doing this since I was in single digits. Since I wasn't even like, before I had to quit playing football. This dude was balling out like that. Oh my gosh. Crazy to think about. Absolutely crazy to think about. Mike Evans versus Scary Terry with these like young, like kind of like nameless receivers like Zacchaeus and McMillan, like right, these rookie like younger dudes balling out as well. Zach Ertz, not Cameron Brate. What is that dude's name? K. Dotton. Oh my gosh, Bake Show, and that kid Jaden. And then 2 defensive coaches, Dan Quinn, Todd Bowles, when they're all talking about offense. Oh my goodness. The Bucky Irving, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler. I don't know. Is Eckler playing? I don't know if he's healthy. If he is, though, still, like, even if not, they got that McNichols kid. And then who the Bucks got? Oh, Rashad White as well. Oh my gosh. Trishan Wirfs. Like, we got good O linemen. We got good D linemen. Vita Vea, Daron Payne. Oh my gosh. Marshawn Lattimore is on the Commanders. Marshawn Lattimore versus Mike Evans in the playoffs. When we thought it would never happen because the Saints were trash. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Like, this is Chef's Kiss stuff right here. This game is going to be absolutely amazing. I think, like, who I think will win, though? I think the Buccaneers. Oh my gosh, this is like legitimately the hardest one for me to pick. I said it, though. I'm doubling down. I'm not gonna bitch out of it. I said it. Buccaneers. If the Commanders win, sue me. Oh my gosh, like, it's such a close game. Both teams are so good. There's such good stories too. Like, you gotta love Baker. Baker's a good dude. This Jaden dude, the charisma. Jaden Daniels, charisma. Baker, the charisma. Oh. Both teams, great stories. Commanders, Bucks. I think Bucks. I already doubled down. Like I said, I'll say it. And then Monday night is going to be the Rams, Vikings. Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, back together again, battling it out. They played earlier this year. I think the Commanders and the Bucks played earlier this year too. And even the Eagles, Packers. These are all rematch games. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. I might have to look into that because I think the Commanders lost to the Bucks this year. So I think the Commanders might actually pull that off. But I did say Bucks, so I'm going to write it out. Because to me, it's 50-50. I don't even – either way I picked, I'd feel as if I was possibly going to be wrong or probably going to be wrong. But like I said, this Monday night game is also going to be lights out. It's going to be great. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp with Matt Stafford throwing to them with – oh my gosh, with Sammy Dimes throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, like the DUI master himself, Jordan Addison, in the gritty, the guy who started the craziest trend, the guy, oh my gosh, Sam Darnold, the comeback warrior, Matt Stafford, the resurgence is for him and his career there with Puka, who doesn't even know what division he's in, and Cooper Kupp, who keeps coming off these catastrophic injuries every year. Oh my gosh. Kyron Williams, Aaron Jones. Kyron Williams, Notre Dame. You know he's got to play for his boys. But oh my gosh. There's the offensive and then the offensive masterminds that are on those teams as well. That's a Monday night standalone only game on that day. Oh my gosh. Like, if you are a football fan, you are like loving this weekend. Like, 6 + 2, like good games, 8 good games of like great football probably. Like the worst game would probably be the Chargers Texans, and that's still probably going to be. I mean, it's still going to be fun to watch because who doesn't love watching Jim Harbaugh? My goodness, but yeah. But game pick though, I'm going Vikings. Got to go Vikings. They're a crazy good team. They're going to bounce back from that embarrassing loss to the Lions. They have to. They kind of do because they're a better team than what they showed. And it was good, like for them to have a game to like kind of like hit him in the chest, like put it in perspective, like, hey, you got to wake up. Like I hear you guys are riding high. Doesn't matter. Lions are still better. But then they would end up playing the Lions in the next round if they won and the Bucks won and the Eagles won, right? Because that was my projections. And then I think the Bucks would edge out the Eagles. I think either Bucks or Commanders, whoever wins that game. Oh, actually, no, because if the Vikings win, if the Commanders win, then they'll play the Lions. There's no way the Commanders beat the Lions. The Lions are so good. The Lions, everybody keeps like, oh, well, their entire defense is hurt. They're shot. Season's over. They're still the odds-on favorite to win the NFC. They have like nobody. They got me playing middle linebacker for them, and I'm not built like a middle linebacker. They got me playing middle linebacker for them. Sorry, my shorts were a little high, but they got me playing middle linebacker. I don't even know who's playing like because like. All their linebackers gone. Well, Alex Anzalone came back like a dude's like a Terminator, half bionic cyborg from the Teen Titans. Alex Anzalone out there. It's what the fuck are we watching? This Lions team is nuts. And then watch, they're gonna come back to the Super Bowl against the Ravens, and Aiden Hutchinson's gonna be there to play. After snapping his leg in half, his fucking tibula, fibula, femur. I don't know what the hell is whatever bone that is. I'm not an anatomy person. Don't care. That's my wife's thing. She likes the health and wellness, you know. Yeah. The Lions. But if they play the Vikings, then the Vikings could have a chance to stop them. That's the thing. The Vikings are the only team I think that could stop the Lions in the NFC. So call it. I'll call it safe. Lions Ravens Super Bowl should have happened last year. Will probably happen this year. Yeah, Lions Ravens Super Bowl prediction. But first round, obviously, you can go back and see what I picked for the first round. That's what's most important this weekend. But yeah, y'all go enjoy this football. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is just going to be pure. Like you're going to see me. I'm kidding. A candy store vibes this weekend, this week. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a weekend? Is it a week? It's 5 days. It's a work week. We got a work week full of playoff football games. 8 of them. Thursday to Monday. Go enjoy that. Like, obviously, if you are tuning into this show, you're probably a football fan or just an amazing friend or family that is supporting me. Or just maybe just a fan of me. But if you are watching this show, there's a good chance that you're a football fan as well. And let me tell you something. Just enjoy this. Because I don't think we've ever had 5 straight days of playoff games. This college football, 12-team playoffs. Everybody wants to hate on it. I don't care. I like it. Give me more football. Don't care. I'll eat it up. I'll eat it for breakfast. I'll eat it for lunch. I'll eat it for dinner. This is what I do every Sunday. I wake up, football on. I'm watching it. International games? Oh, yeah. Give me football earlier. I'll wake up early on a Sunday. Don't care. Man, I love it. Go enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this. I love doing this. I'm so glad to be back. I am still working on getting my camera. That is in this bag. I'm still working on getting that up. I think I have to update my camera, the software, because obviously iOS doesn't ever want to be compatible with anything. So I have to still figure that out. But I will. Maybe I could try a different laptop. I could try my wife's laptop. She has an HP instead of a max. So maybe that would work. So we will see how that works. But yeah, just expect improvements and expect more heated takes. Expect more passion. Expect a great response to whatever the hell happens this work week of football. But yeah, I can't wait to watch this game tomorrow. I have the day off. Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. He died, so my job gave us all a day off to remember him. But yeah, rest in peace to Jimmy Carter. Made it to 100, so I think he's fine with going out like that. I don't even know how good of a president he was because I wasn't alive. So, but yeah, I'm sure he was great. But yeah, I get the day off tomorrow, so I'm gonna get some work done, and then by that time, football's gonna be on, and it's over from there. I don't even care about what's going on Friday or Monday or Saturday at work. I'm thinking about football all day. I'm like, oh, they're gonna be like, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm watching football later. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm talking about like at work. Don't care. No, but sorry, I tried too hard to be funny. But yeah, no, but lots of football coming up. I'm gonna enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, I will be back next Wednesday, no doubt about it. But yeah, I will see y'all then. It was a lovely time tonight. It was great to be back. First show of 2025. And say goodbye to the Christmas tree because the next episode it won't be in. It will be gone because it's already January 8th. So yeah. But like I said, I'm getting work done tomorrow because I have the day off. So that's going to be part of it. But yeah, much love and much peace to everybody who has watched. Appreciate any support I get. Stay blessed, y'all. Good night.